Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be learning how to sew this beautiful gown. In the previous one we learned how to draft and all, so we are going to be cutting the pattern paper, cutting the fabric, and then sewing it all together. This is going to be very detailed, so let's move over. So as you can see, we've already drafted out our pattern. If you've not watched the video where we drafted out our pattern and where we cut and sew our skirt, just make sure you go back to the video and watch it so that you can catch up with us. Okay, so this is the pattern, as you can see, and I am cutting it out so that we can cut it out on our fabric. So I'm cutting out the back pattern first. So this is the back pattern. That is what I'm cutting out. So now the next thing is to cut out the front pattern. So just watch how I am going to cut out the front pattern, the upper part. So just watch it out. So we need to close the bust dart, and in order for you to close one dart you need to open one dart. So that was why I opened the waist dart, just like you see me do. So now once you fold your bust dart, it's not going to align. So this is what you do: you divide between your chest line and where that part stop, then you come out by like 0.25 to 0.5, and then you connect like so. See the way I connected? So if you do it like this, once you close your dart, you see that everything is going to align. Just watch. So I need to just come up a bit so that it can open. So in order for you to close one dart, you need to open in order for you to close on that, you need to open the dart. So you can see when I close the bust dart, you can see that everything aligned. That is because of the extension that I did earlier on. So this is a simple trick that is going to change your pattern game, as you can see. So there are a lot of tricks and tips in this video, and it's very much detailed. Okay, so just stay tuned and watch. So after you've already closed your bust dart, just use your paper tape or your pin to hold it down. I don't have that here with me, so I'm just going to continue cutting. Okay, so I'm just going to continue cutting the front part. Now I am cutting out the neckline, as you can see me do. So just watch the way I'm positioning my hand. I'm making sure that I'm showing you every step of this of everything that went into making this dress, so that even if you're a total beginner and you don't know how to cut, you don't know how to draft, you don't know how to sew, you're going to learn everything while watching. So I made sure that this tutorial is very detailed for anyone that is a total beginner. If you watch this, so you're going to be able to replicate this, trust me. So as I'm taking my time to show you all of the details, to show you how to cut, how to sew, you too, please take out your time to watch it. Okay, so I'm just cutting out the tightening, the overbust tightening that I did, and then we are done with the lower parts. You can see that everything is coming together. So now make sure you label your pattern. Okay, so I'm labeling that part that it is going to be on fold, so you can see the way I labeled it. So make sure you label your pattern as much as possible. Okay, so now we need to cut out the yoke. That is if you're going to be adding yoke to yours. Okay, so we are going to be cutting out the yoke. If you're not going to be adding the yoke, you just discard that part. So I cut out the shoulder slope, and then so yeah, so that is the armhole. So remember that we had to close the dart on the yoke, so you can go ahead and just close it like that, or you can cut it and then you close it. Okay, so you can see that our front part is ready. So now we need to cut out the back part, and this is totally optional. You can just go ahead and then just cut out the yoke and the lower parts for the back, and you are done. Okay, so if you don't want to cut out the dart, so you can just go ahead and then just sew your dart on your fabric like that without cutting it into pieces. I hope you understand. So I'm just cutting out that part that we went in, because we're going to be using a zipper. Okay, so now I'm dividing the yoke away from the main fabric. Okay, so you can do whatever design for the yoke that you want. This is what I want, and I feel it's gonna come out great and cute. Just I'm sure you saw the back when I turned on this outfit, so you can decide to do any style that you want. It is totally optional, but the way I did mine, that is what I am showing you. So you can use your discretion and do anything that you feel is gonna come out beautifully. Okay, so now I am labeling this. So make sure you label your fabric as your pattern as much as possible, okay, so that even if years to come you want to use that same pattern, you're not going to be confused. You know which part is going to which part is the upper part, because after you cut out this pattern, everything might just look the same on your fabric. So that is why it's important for you to label your pattern as much as possible, and also label your fabric as much as possible. So let's go ahead and cut. So I have gone ahead to cut out all of my patterns. I've gone ahead to cut it out. So now I just want to show you how to cut out the yoke. Okay, so in order to cut out the yoke, I am using this skin tone net. So this is how to cut. This is the trick to cutting out. So you have to use the stretchy part for the horizontal part, not the vertical part. Okay, so the way stretches the most is what you're going to use to cut out the horizontal part. I hope you understand. The horizontal part is like your round measurement. Okay, so that is what you're going to use to cut. So this is a very important tip. Okay, so you cut out, see the way I positioned it. So it's the stretchy part that I'm cutting out horizontally. Okay, because that is how your body stretches. Okay, so if you use the horizontal part, if you use the stretchy part as the horizontal part, your fabric is going to be able to breathe and be able to stretch once you move. But if you use the part that is not stretchy, okay, so you might not be able to move as much. So that is how to cut. Use the stretchy parts as the horizontal part. Okay, so if you use it if you use it as vertical part, you might be pulling down your whole fabric. The whole fabric is going to have weight now. So if you use that stretchy part as the horizontal part, once you lift out you just keep on the weight of the main fabric, you just keep on pulling it down. I hope you understand. So I'm going to be adding 1 inch all round, except for the neckline, because I am not going to be turning the neckline. I'm just going to be using one single layer. So if you want to turn your neckline, you can just go ahead and you cut out 2 pieces for your yoke, then use it to turn. I don't want it that way. Then for the center front, I want to put hook, so that is why I came out by extra 1 inch. So you can see I came out by extra 1 inch so that it can accommodate the hook that I want to put there. Okay, so you can go ahead and also do the same thing. So you can see where I added ½ inch and where I did not add ½ inch. I did not add half an inch to the neckline and the lower parts, the curvy part. So but for the sides, for the upper parts, for the armhole, I added ½ an inch. I hope you understand. So you can see that I'm notching that part so that I'm going to know that that is the upper part. That is what I'm saying. Notch your fabric as well. Label your pattern as well, so that everything does not look confusing. So now for the upper part, you know that center part is going to be on fold. Okay, so all of these things you have to take note so that you don't do mistake and go and cut something that is not going to be on fold, and you have to start joining the middle part. It's not going to come out nice. So this is the front yoke, and you can see that is on fold. The center part is on fold. So I am adding ½ inch on the shoulder, on the armhole as well, and the lower parts that I'm going to be joining the yoke. And you can see that I closed the darts on the yoke. Okay, so we are practically done. So make sure you hold on to all of the tips that I mentioned to you while cutting out your yoke. So now we are practically done. We've cut out the yoke, we've cut out the lower pattern, as you can see. So you can see we are almost done with this. Okay, so now I cut out 2 pieces for the lining. Okay, because we are going to be putting wording. Okay, we're going to be using wording for the upper part. So I cut out 2 lining, so it will be 1 fabric, 1 line is going to serve as the main part. Okay, so you can see it's going to serve as the main part, then the lining, the second part, is going to serve as the lining. I hope you understand. If you've been following, you're going to really understand. So 1 fabric, 1 lining is going to be 1, then the second lining is going to be lining, because we are going to be using wording. So because we're using lace, so if we do not line the main fabric, our wording is going to be showing. I hope you understand. So now for the wording, you can go ahead and even draft out that little part that you want to cut out for your wording, and then you cut it out. But one thing you need to notice, that where you're going to be joining your yoke, make sure that the wording is not there. So you come down by like 1 inch away from where you're going to be joining your yoke. You need to do this so that it's going to be very easy for you to sew your yoke, and it's not going to be bulky. So if there is no wording there, it's going to relax properly. I hope you understand. So just watch what I'm doing. Any parts that you're going to be putting your yoke, or you're going to be attaching your armhole, make sure your wording is not there. So come down by ½ inch, okay, or so that it's going to relax well once you turn your fabric. I really hope you understand what I'm doing. I am taking my time to explain all of this so that you understand. So if you feel that this is not going to be easy for you, you can just draft it out on your pattern, and then you just place it on your wording and cut it out, instead of just doing it like the way I'm doing it and placing it. Okay, so you can just draft out the parts that you want your wording to stop and end. I love stopping my wording under the bust. Okay, I love so, because that is what we need. We just need to pad the bust area. So I really feel it's not necessary for you to go all the way down to your waistline. Okay, and it works perfectly for me. So you can see the way I'm cutting. You can see that I came down by ½ inch from that lower part. Okay, so that is going to is going to move away from where I'm going to be joining my yoke. I really hope you understand. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to come down. If you feel this method is not going to be easy for you, just draft out where you want your wording to stop on your pattern paper. Okay, just and then cut it out and place it on your fabric like so. So it's going to be very easy for you. So any part that you feel that is not properly aligned, just place it on your fabric like so, and you trim it out. So if you've gotten to this point and you are yet to subscribe, please make sure you click the subscribe button. Okay, join the family. Okay, so make sure you click the subscribe button, put on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to be notified when I drop another video. If you're confused about any part as well, just make sure you put it in the comment section. And also, if you are yet to join our membership, make sure you join us. There are a lot of perks, so many things that you can so many things that you are going to enjoy in this membership. You can request for videos, you're going to have access to member videos alone, you're going to have access to live video, so much more. So just click the join part and join any tier that you feel that it's going to be perfect for you. Okay, so you can also support this channel with supers and the like, so that I can create more videos for you. Okay, so make sure you do that, and then let us grow together. So if you're confused about any parts in this video, you can drop it in the comment section, and members are going to get priority. So you can see that I'm going to notch this part. Okay, I'm notching this part to know that this is the side front. Like I said, always notch, always label, because at the end of the day, once you remove everything might just look the same, and then you start struggling with it. Oh, which part is the upper part, which part is the lower part? You get. So it is very important for you to label your pattern and also notch your fabric, so that you know which part is which part. Even if you do not sew it immediately, once you come back, you know that, oh, this part is going to this part. I hope you understand. So now for the this center front, you can decide to just use half. Okay, half instead of going all the way to cover the half, to cover the center part. You can just do half of it, just cover where the bust is going to be, and then, if you want to manage your wording, it's not a must for you to do this full one, you get. So you can just do half of it. So make sure you arrange everything properly before you cut out. And look at what I'm doing. You can see I'm coming down by ½ inch because my yoke is going to be passing through that part. Okay, so I came down by ½ inch so that my yoke is going to sit properly, and then I went ahead to cut, and I'm cutting to my waistline. So please take your time to watch this. I'm really taking time and pain to make sure that I show you every part of the sewing, so that it's going to be very easy for you. You're not going to be confused about any part at all. Okay, that is why this thing is very is very detailed. Okay, so please just take your time to watch. So we are practically done. So the next thing is for us to sew. Okay, so go ahead, and then we're going to sew our pieces together. So but first off, let's work on the back. So I want to work on the back so that everything is going to be in shape. Okay, so you can see that I notched the down part where our that is going to be. Okay, so that when you can see that it looks the same, both the side front, both the side back and the front and the center back. So that was why I notched that part, so that I know that. So you notch the part that is going to your center back, or and just notch any part, so that for you, you're going to know which part is going to which part. So now I'm going to be holding my darts, and because I've already notched where my dart is, I already know where I'm going to be starting my dart from. Okay, so I've already gone ahead to hold my dart. You can see what I did. So I held my dart for the both sides, and you can see that I'm using one fabric, one lining, one fabric, one lining. Okay, because we don't want it to show. So now you can see that I notched that part, so I know that that part is my center back. Okay, so it's very important for you to do all of this. Okay, so it's very, very important for you to do this. So now for the lining as well, I'm going to go ahead to also hold my dart, and because I've already notched it, it's very, very easy for me to locate. So you remember that we used 1.5 for our dart, so 0.75 on both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and also do that as well. So after doing that, the next thing is to attach our yoke. That is why it's important for you not to throw out your pattern. So now I need to know where I'm going to position my yoke. So while cutting, you can see that it is from that part that our yoke, the position of our yoke is going to start from the from where our dart leg stops. Okay, so that is where I'm going to be positioning my darts. So make sure that you do not throw out your pattern in case you need to go back and make reference to it. So I'm going to place my yoke on it, starting from my dart leg, because I know that was where I cut out on my pattern. So you go ahead, you can see, you go ahead and you stitch it out, and you stitch it. Remember, we use 0.5 for joining allowance while cutting out our fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and then you join. Then after that, I'm going to be placing, you can see, and then I'm going to place my lining, and then I will sew. Then I will also sew the center back as well. I hope you understand. So make sure you do all of that. Join your yoke, hold your darts for your lining, and then you join everything together, and you have a very neat finishing. So you go ahead, use 0.5 to join all around. Then I'm going to do the same thing for the other part as well. Okay, so now let us move to the front part. So I decided to show you the front parts on the sewing machine because it's very important. Okay, so now we are going to be learning how to join the bustier together to get a perfect bustier. Okay, so you can see that I already attached my lining to my fabric and then my wording. Okay, so I just held everything by like 0.25 just to hold it in place. Okay, so I did the same thing as well. Make sure you are using the shiny part. The shiny part must be facing your fabric, so that once you iron, it's going to stick to your fabric. So I I placed everything like that, and I just held it in by 0.25, so that I'm going to have a very easy access while I am joining. I've gone ahead to join the lining together, so you can see how it's going to be looking like. So now let us move into this in proper. So now this is, make sure you watch this intently, okay? So now this is how to join and get a perfect result. See the way I turned it, okay? So in order for you to get a perfect result, you join from the waist up, okay? You join from the waist up. So you join the other side from the waist up. You also join the other opposite side from the waist up. So if you start sewing from the waist up, it's going to give you, you know, enough leverage in order for you to be able to shape in how your bustier is going to come out. Just watch what I'm going to do. Make sure everything is aligned, okay? And then we are going to be joining by whatever inch that you left. I left 0.5 inch. So just watch what I am going to be doing. So you place, okay, so you can see you back stitch, and then so this is, just keep watching what I am doing. So once you get to the under bust, now that is where the main work starts from, okay? Just watch the way I'm going to be positioning. You can see the way I held that other part. So you hold that other part one hand, then use your other part to also hold it. So you make sure as you're sewing, you keep on arranging so that the upper part is going to align, okay? Just watch what I'm going to be doing. So if you do this, you see that you're going to have a perfect bustier, okay? So as you're doing it, you are arranging. See the way you're arranging, you're folding. See what I'm doing. Just make sure that as you're arranging, everything is going to match up. It can be difficult at first, but as you do it, you're going to see that you're going to, you know, continue. You're going to you're going to get used to it. See the way I am arranging it. So you keep arranging, you keep pushing, you keep so even if you need to push a little bit out, you keep doing it. Just make sure that you keep arranging it like that, and you're going to get a perfect result. See what I did. So if you do this, you're going to have a perfect result. See how it is looking. Even without doubling the wording, you can see how it is looking, standing and looking very good. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing for the other part. So you join from bottom down, you join from the waist to the upper part, and once you get to where your wording is, you keep arranging. If you have to push, just make sure you arrange your fabric right. So you arrange your fabric right, and then you come out with the perfect result. Okay, so I'm going to do it the second time for you to watch. So after you've done that, the next thing is to join your yoke, and you join your lining, then you join the lower part. We already saw our skirt in the other video, so if you've not watched the previous video, so you go ahead and then you watch it. So we join our skirt part to the upper part as well, and we are basically done. Okay, so we're basically done. So I just need to show you the difficult part so that you understand. See the way I am arranging it. You can see, just make sure you arrange it. Let your ends be working. Your two ends be working. As you're doing it, you keep on arranging. So keep on arranging it like that. So it might look as if it's not going to work out, or it may be difficult. Just keep on doing it. Keep on arranging it. You are in charge of the fabric, not the other way around. So you keep on arranging it like that. So if you do this, you're going to have the upper parts matching up. So like you can see in this, then you also top stitch as well. So you can see that me joining the wording and the lining together, you can see that it allowed for us to work perfectly. So now the yoke is very important. Now watch how I'm going to be joining the yoke. This is very important. If you've been finding it difficult to join a deep or plungy neckline. Okay, so you're going to join your neckline, your yoke to your up and lower part, and then you also join your lining to it, and you are done. So now this is the trick that I'm going to be showing you. Okay, so just watch the trick I'm going to be showing you. So now you place your yoke, as you can see, then the center back, the center front, I mean, you come out, see the way, so you come out by like 0.5 inch. See, you can see that I'm not starting the yoke exactly on the same line, so you bring out your yoke by 0.5 or 0.25 thereabout, so make sure it is shooting out a bit. Then you now sew from the center all the way to the side. So this is very important. Then after doing that, you come back again and you sew from center to the other parts as well. If you do this, you're going to see that it's going to be a game changer in your sewing journey. Okay, so this is very important. You come out by 0.5 or 0.25. Make sure it is not, make sure your yoke and your fabric is not the same line, so come out by 0.5, okay, or 0.25. Then you sew from the center. You start sewing from the center and you do it gradually. So as you're doing it, it might, look as if it's folding. So that's why you have to do it gradually, because that is not a straight part here. So you keep doing it gradually. You adjust your yoke, and as you're adjusting your yoke, you are lifting up your footer. Make sure that your needle is inside your fabric, okay, so that it's not going to scatter when you're sewing. I hope you understand. And make sure that your wadding is nowhere around where you're sewing. That is why I said it's very important for you to come down by at least 0.5 inch, so that it doesn't get in the way. Then you keep going. There's no need for you to rush, just keep moving little by little. Okay, so if any part is folding up or anything, you can just lift up your footer and you arrange it and you continue sewing. I hope you understand. So you do the same thing for the other parts. After doing that, then you join your lining and your lower part, your lower skirt, your skirt, then you join it to the upper part. So I'm just going to do that again just to show you. You can see that it's from center to side that I am doing. Make sure it is from center to side that you are doing. So if you do this, you're going to see that this is very easy for you to sew a plungy neckline or a V shape anywhere in your fabric. If it is in your skirts that you have the design, anywhere. So if you use this method, it's going to work perfectly for you. Whatever you're going to join, just come out a bit by 0.5 or 0.25. That is the first game changer. Okay, then you sew from center to side and center to side. So you can see the way I'm taking my time to explain this. So all of these tricks are going to be a very, very game changer and turn around in your sewing journey. If you've got to this point and you are yet to subscribe, please make sure you press the subscribe button. Okay, so please make sure you watch this tutorial to the end, okay, because I'm taking my time to explain to you so that you can also have a better sewing experience and journey. I hope you understand. So you can see that we are almost done, and I'm going to also join everything together like so. So we are practically done with our yoke, and you can see that there is no problem, no issue at all. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the pin and join my lining to it. So you can see how perfect this is looking. You can see the way your V shape came out. This is looking very good. So see how good it's looking. So now the next thing is to join our lining to it. So you also use the same method for your lining. Okay, so you also use the same method to join your lining. So we are done with that. The next thing is to join our skirt. So I've gone ahead to join the skirts to the back, and also I've joined for the front as well. Look at how neat the inside is. So after you've done all of that, the next thing is for us to join everything together. So you join your shoulders to your shoulders, and also you join your sides to your side with the allowance that we left. Okay, then you add any sleeve of your choice. Okay, so in the next video I'm going to be showing you how to drape, because this video is long as it is. So in the next video you're going to be learning how to drape. Okay, then you can see the center back. You can just, then you sew that part and you put in your buttons or whatever you want to put there. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to drape in the other video, because this is as long as it is. Okay, so make sure you iron and iron and iron. So this is the final result without draping. So see you in the next video.